Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to do the Circle Takes the Square crochet blanket. These are made up of circle motifs. So these are circles, then in the last round we make it back to a square. Then you're just going to whip stitch it together, throw a border around it, and bada boom, bada bing, you're done. So you're going to need a 6mm size J crochet hook today, and this is using Caron 1 pound yarn if you would like to do that, and these are a really neat idea. So let me show you a sample and then I'll show you more on the pattern. So here's a sample of this. So you see that there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds completely in order to make this a perfect center circle, and then it turns into a square. Then you're just going to whip stitch them together and put them together for your blanket. So you can see the different color combination options here in the instructions. You can also see that there's a crochet diagram in order for you to follow along. So you're just going to start off in the center and just work your way out, and you can change the color strategically just like it shows within the particular pattern, and then you're just going to finish off and then whip stitch. So without further ado, let's grab some yarn and let's show you how to do the 5 rounds, and then you can just do our simple crochet border to go around. We also have tutorials available for that on Yarn Inspirations as well as the Crochet Crowd for that kind of idea. So let's begin, and we're going to create a slip knot to start this, and there is a total of chain of 4. So a total chain of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then insert your hook into the beginning chain and then pull through and through to form the center ring of your motif. So it's right there, this is the center, and then we're going to begin. So to begin the next one, I want you to put the yarn as if it's part of the ring, and then I want you to chain up 3, and that counts as a double crochet in whenever we're going to start this pattern. So that counts as one of them, and I need you to put 12 more double crochets right into the center of that ring. Okay, so let's try that again. So just coming back out, sometimes it's kind of tight when you go to start, so you're just going to do a double crochet, and then you keep on doing that until you get a total of 12. So if the first one, chain 3, counts as a double crochet, there should be 11 full double crochets going all the way around. So please do that, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So now I have 12. Okay, so the chain 3 counts as one of them, and then there's 11 double crochets, which gives you a total of 12. Slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3. So let's move on to round number 2. You're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then into the same one right below you're going to put in another double crochet, and I want you to put in 2 double crochets in each one of the stitches going all the way around. Okay, so just 2 into this one, and then 2 into the next one, and so on. So please do that all the way around in order to do round number 2. So as you come back around, you should have 12 sets of 2 double crochets in each, and then you're going to join with a slip stitch. Now this one here appears like it's a stitch, but it's not. Okay, so that's just part of the starting, so don't confuse that, because then you'll end up with 13 sets of 2. So just slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3, and you see it pulls it in nicely. So now let's begin round number 3. We're going to chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then double crochet into the same one. So for round number 3, here's the repeat pattern going all the way around. The next one will have 1 double crochet sitting by itself, and then the one after that will be 2 double crochets into the same one. Okay, so just quickly review that again. So the next one is going to be 1 by itself, and then the next one has 2 double crochets into the same one. Please do that same thing going all the way around for round number 3. So I'm coming around to the end. There's 2 in this one, and the very final one will be 1 double crochet by itself. So I should have that because I ended up with 2 in the very beginning, and then 1, 2, and 1. So then to keep it in balance, it should end up with just 1 by itself at the end. So we're just going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, and then we're going to get rid of this yarn. So we're just going to change the color only for 1 round. That's what creates that nice color difference within the particular square. So we're just going to weave in the ends, and then you're going to trap it into position next time around, and we have 1 more round to do in order to keep it round, and then the last round then will be square. So let's carry on, and let's get rid of this yarn, then just trim it out. Done, and then let's move on to a new color. So let's begin round number 4. I'm going to create a slip knot just to start, put it onto my hook. So I can go into any one of these circles or any one of these stitches, it doesn't matter, and we're just going to choose any one And if you want to continue like the pattern says it to exactly where to start, that's up to you. So just join it with the slip stitch and then chain 3. It counts as a double crochet, and then double crochet again into the same one. So for this round, round number 4, is that there's going to be 2 double crochets in a row. So 1 and 2. Okay, so there's 2 in a row that are by itself, and then the next one has 2 into the same one. So 1 and 2. Just like that. And then carrying on. So the next 2 have to be by themselves. And then the next one has 2 into the same one. So please do that same idea going all the way around for round number 4. So I'm coming back around and I'm just applying the last 2 double crochets in. I'm keeping balance within the pattern. So it was all 2 in the same one and then 2 by themselves, and then I join with the slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3. So now this color is done for now, and that's it. And we're just gonna get rid of this color, weave in the ends, and we have the 5th and final round to convert this circle into a square so that you can sew it together with other squares once you get those done. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the sample of where we're gonna start, and then I'll carry on from that point. So when we go to start the squares, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start in a midway point and then work our way down. So we're not actually starting in a corner as usual with the square, and then we carry on as usual going all the way around. So I'll give you those stitch counts and then we'll get this circle. So you can see I use Caron Simply Soft. There's a difference of the yarn thickness, so therefore there's a difference of the size. So of course if you substitute your yarn, you should substitute your hook size as well. Okay, so let's begin, and I'm just gonna use some white. I'm feeling kind of Christmassy, and I'm going to just choose any stitch all the way around. It doesn't really matter which one you choose because each stitch will be used in some capacity. So we're just gonna choose one, and we're just going to join it with the slip stitch. And now this one we're gonna chain 1, and then we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the same one. So the next 2 in a row will each be a single crochet. So each side right in the middle will have 3 single crochets in a row. So 1, 2, and 3. So now we need to get bigger. So 2 in a row will be a half double crochet. So 1 and 2. And now the next 2 will be a double crochet each. So 1 and 2. So now we're ready for a corner. So those are going to be trebles. So you wrap the hook twice, and then going into the next stitch you were going to treble a total of 2 times. So that was 1. So wrap it again, going into the same stitch again, treble again. To turn the corners you're going to chain 3 and then treble 2 more times into that same one again. So wrap the hook twice and going into the same stitch. And do it again. So each corner will always have 2 trebles, 3 chains, and 2 trebles. So now we're going to work our way along a full edge. So the next 2 in a row will each be 1 double crochet. So 1 and 2. The next 2 in a row will each be a half double crochet. So 1 and 2. So now you're in the middle of the side, so the next 3 are going to be single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to get bigger then as we work to the other side. So the next 2 are going to be half double crochets. So 1 and 2. The next 2 are double crochets. 1 and 2. And now the next one is the corner. So there's 2 trebles into the same one. Okay, and then followed by chain 3 to turn the corner, and then 2 more trebles into that same one. So if you need to review a side again, just reverse this video back to the side I just showed you, but I will tell you now anyway. So you're gonna do 2 doubles, 2 halves. So okay, so one after each other. So double, double, half, half, 3 singles, half, half, double, double, and then the next corner. So please do that all the way around to complete the square. So as you complete the final round, okay, so the final section, we're just gonna come in from the corner. The next 2 as normal would have been a double crochet, which they still are, and then the next 2 are half double crochets like they had been before, and the 3 single crochets in the middle are already done, so you just have to slip stitch it to the beginning single crochet in order to finalize off. So I'm going to show you how to weave in your ends. Okay, so let's just get rid of that now. So just cutting my yarn. So the best way to get rid of the strand at the end is that you don't want it falling out when you go to sew everything. So put it onto a darning needle as you do it. Like so, as you do each one, it's just easier to do it instead of having so many squares at the end that you have to do later. And just glide it up underneath the stitch work. So don't impede on the outside edge because you got to sew within those. So just dragging under one. Don't pull it too tight. Just nice and just snug, but without making the project bend in any weird way. So 2 and 3. So going in and out 3 times will hide your loose end because it'll never fall out on you if you do that. So any loose ends that you have to do that. So I buried this one as I went around. So I can just normally just get rid of that, just cut it out. It's all good. And I already took care of the rest off camera. So here's what it looks like. All you're just gonna do now is just sew them together and then just whip stitch it. We have tutorials available here on our YouTube channel to do that. Also, then there's 2 rounds. So once it's all put together, just go around once. You're gonna single crochet the first time, and then the second time is just double crochet. And you can see that in the instructions as well. So this is how you do these motifs. As you can see, when you change the yarn, you change the size of the project. So this here is Karen 1 pound. This was Karen Simply Soft, and look at the difference of just changing out your yarn using just that. So you can see it actually makes a big difference. So the bigger the squares that you see, the less that you have to do depending on the size that you're trying to achieve. So this is the Circle Takes the Square, another free pattern available by yarnspirations.com. We'll see you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.